Welcome, seekers. You have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. My name is Ricky, and today I bring you another pick a card tarot reading titled, Who Will Your Next Relationship Be With? This pick a card is one of the most entertaining pick a cards requested to me on this channel. It is divinatory in nature, and it will seek to provide information on your next relationship, possibly your future partner. I'm going to give you information on their current thoughts, feelings, emotions. I'm even going to provide you with their zodiac signs, right? A trait as well, just everything. Everything that the tarot card shows us, I'm going to relate to you. Now, you must choose wisely, because here we have 4 groups. Now, if you're new to pick a cards, each group has a distinct message, right? Has a divinatory message on who this person is going to be, that you're going to be in a relationship with, right? So you have to pick one of the groups that calls to you the most. And today we have the 4 Knights of the Tarot swooping in, right? In their shining armors. And so we have 4 groups. Here we have group number 1, and this is the Knight of Cups. Here we have group number 2, and this is the Knight of Wands. And here we have group number 3, this is the Knight of Pentacles. And then finally we have group number 4, this is the Knight of Swords. So it is up to you to select the group that calls to you the most. I'm going to go ahead and provide a timestamp so that you can just fast forward to your group. The timestamps are going to be in the description, so that you can fast forward to your group and receive your message. So take a moment, make your selections, and I'll see you there. Welcome, group number 1. So you picked the Knight of Cups. Beautiful selection. This is the Seeker of Truth. This Knight of Cups is this Knight of Cups is a celestial seeker of the subconscious. His goal is to bridge the spiritual realm of the air and water, and essentially tap into his intuitive ability and his highly developed imagination. Now, it's interesting that you pick this card when it comes to actual love, when it comes to relationship. This tarot card, this Knight, is the one, right? This is the one that will open up his heart chakra and just offer that love to you graciously. So very interesting. I've never actually considered reading the pick-a groups or the pick-a cards, but I am going to for this reading, because these Knights are important, and the fact that you picked this Knight tells me that you are intuitively picking up on the energies of the person that you are going to be in a relationship with. You are in some ways manifesting this Knight. And so, some things to consider about this Knight. He is sensitive, intuitive, highly developed when it comes to their imagination. They love art, poetry, writing. It just unfolds just normally into their day-to-day actions, where they kind of just live based on their emotions, right? Based on what they are feeling at that moment. The Knight tends to bring divine visions to the world as a gift. As a gift to the deepest part of his soul. And so there's a sense of true creativity anytime we get the Knight of Cups in a reading. He is the person that encourages humanity to explore and experience their personal connection to divine love. This Knight acts from the heart, from a place of truth, with kindness, authenticity. There's a glow about this Knight, right? There's a shine that comes out of them. There's a classic chivalrousness and a gallantness with them. They're gentle warriors. They're gentle warriors of love. They're romantics, heroes of the hearts. They see the beauty of the heart and soul of everything. So the Knight of Cups is the highest example of the idea of the Grail Knight. It's the upholding the noble ideas of love and protection. His strength comes from his deep love and compassion for humanity and Mother Earth. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. We're going to use, this is a tarot card, but we're going to go ahead and throw some tarot from a different deck. And we're going to try and get some understanding of what they're currently going through. We're going to do a past, present, future spread. And then we're also going to reveal the zodiac sign of this person towards the middle or end of the reading. We'll leave that as a bit of a fun tidbit towards the end. So let's go ahead and zoom out, because this is zoomed in. We're going to zoom out. There we go. We're going to put the night aside, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle. We're going to use the Tarot Apocalypses for this reading. We're not going to count that card. So, in the past, what did this person go through? In the past, what did they go through? Oh, wow. Okay, so in a past position, what's going on with them? What is going on with them? Okay, or what did happen? All right. So presently, what's going on? What is going on presently? Okay. And what does the future hold for this Grail Knight? All right. My goodness. Interesting cards. Interesting energy with this person. There's definitely a sense of, you know, having gone through this almost dark night of the soul. All right. This person has gone through a great ordeal of pain, right? We see it in the past, we see it in the present, but there's also a new beginning, right? And so there's a beauty in what they're currently going through. But anyways, let's start with the past, right? So in the past, we've got the Lovers card showing up. This Lovers card obviously is reversed. When that happens, what we have is almost a dark night of the soul. We have a deepening of sorrow, you know, and also possibly betrayal and love. And so here what we have with the Lovers card is an image of two people coming together, right? And this could be in matrimony, this can be in simply just being in a relationship with each other, but there's true love and care. There's also this divine energy that binds these two people together to each other. So it's almost like this person in the past was betrayed by someone that they truly loved, which is why the card is showing up reversed, right? And so it's love, it's betrayal, right? Thinking that this person loved you, but not really. And we see that with the moon. And the moon is a very interesting card. You know, the moon, usually it's a symbol of feminine energy. It's a symbol of femininity, but also it can be a symbol of illusions, right? Not everything is as it seems under the light of the moon, right? The sun reveals all, but the moon keeps the mystery. And so the fact that the card is showing up reversed says that there's a lot of lies, okay? A lot of lies, a lot of things that this person thought to be true, but really it wasn't, right? It was just lies, smoke everywhere. So it's a journey, the moon as well, the journey through the dark night towards possibly an oasis of darkness. The fact that the card is reversed tells me that they've gone through that journey of darkness deep into the abyss, and they've only found even more darkness, you know. And so this person, obviously, the Knight of Cups, when it comes to love, they give it generously, graciously. They want to love and be loved. That is their language. That is exactly who they are. And so the fact that we've got, the moon reversed, the Lovers card reversed, tells me that they were in a very dark place in the past, right? And how can they not be if the way that they interact with life is through love? I love this, I love that, I love everything, I love Mother Earth, I love the animals. If that's their interaction with the world, then as soon as a person like that gets betrayed, things get a little dark, because they go into the abyss, right? They go into a very dark place emotionally, and it's very hard for them to find their way out of it. And so I feel like in the past they were hurt, they were betrayed. This is definitely, I feel, from someone who they were in a relationship with. It's interesting, but there's a lot of people showing up in this reading, and I feel that they are possible relationships that they've been with, people who this person just loved very genuinely, and unfortunately they were just with this person to betray them. So that's very, it's a bit of a dark reality here for our Knight. But in the present, right, stepping away from that abyss, stepping away from that darkness for a moment, and looking at the present, we've got the Ace of Cups upright and the Princess of Cups reversed. And so what we have is an acknowledgement of what's happened, right? We have here the Princess of Cups, which is showing up closer to the past than the present. So what we have is the person that betrayed them, right? And I get the feeling that this person was very substantial to them. And the fact that she is the Princess of Cups just complements the Knight of Cups very well. But there is betrayal, there is lies. This person did not give this Knight any kind of love, or if they did, it was fleeting. It was for a moment, and then maybe they gave that love to someone else, So I think that maybe this person even cheated on them, right? Betrayed them in that way. And so we have them showing up in the present, which means that betrayal is still very heavy in this Knight of Cups' heart. They're still kind of trying to get over this. Now, moving towards the future, we have the Ace of Cups. And this is a very beautiful, beautiful sight to see. The card is showing up upright, and when we have that, what we have is the beginning of love, right? The Ace of Cups is the beginning of love, the beginning of a new emotional reality for this Knight, right? So they're stepping out of that darkness and that dark place, and they're saying that it's time for a new love, it's time for a new reality. The time of sorrow has been laid bare. There's nothing there for me anymore. So I'm going to step away from that darkness, and I'm going to reach for the light. I'm going to reach for happiness, joy, contentment, bliss, emotional satisfaction. And so there's a stepping away from this betrayal. There's a stepping away from this person, and then a complete shift into this new energy of love and care and almost a yearning for something new. This is what's happening presently. Now, let's talk about the future. This is very interesting. Here we have the Princess of Wands reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed. And this, my goodness, this Knight can't catch a break. So we're stepping out of this darkness, right? We understand presently what is heavy in their hearts, the Princess of Cups that betrayed them. They're moving away from that princess, and they're essentially now giving into that blissfulness of the Ace of Cups, only to be hurt and betrayed by someone else again. My goodness, poor Knight. I mean, this Knight can't catch a break. So the Princess of Wands showing up reversed here. This person is going to burn them. Okay, this is a person that, they're the kind of person that uses their words and their will to manipulate, right? This is a manipulator. This is a person that tells lies. This is a person that does whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it. A very harsh person. And to this Princess of Wands, right, there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. She's just being who she is, right? She's shining bright for the world to see because she's so fabulous, right? And so with that very, very kind of chaotic energy of this Princess of Wands, this immature energy, she's actually going to harm this Knight of Cups even more. Right, and what she's going to end up doing is bringing a bit of unhappiness to this Knight. So, the Nine of Cups is the card of happiness, joy, right? We have here someone who's just so happy with their lives that they're kind of just enjoying it, right? They have a servant who's working for them, so it tells you that they have money to pay a servant, right? They have a nice, beautiful home. There's a lot of accomplishments and achievements. You can see that those accomplishments and achievements are being displayed on the wall. There's a statue made of gold symbolizing one of the deities of prosperity, wealth, good fortune. So, there's definitely a sense here of happiness, but the fact that the card came out reversed, we have the complete opposite of that. So even though this person is stepping out of that darkness, right, moving into a new place, moving into a new energy, they're only going to be hurt by someone, right? They're going to be hurt by another person in a future setting. This can be in the immediate future. This can be someone who potentially, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be a co-worker or a friend. There's an energy here of someone who is potentially very close to them. Could be a family member, but ultimately, the way that the Knight of Cups operates is they need someone with them. They want a relationship. They want something deep with people. And so when it comes to them meeting someone, the relationship, and if they're single, the relationship moves really quickly, because the Knight of Cups tends to fall very heavy for that person. And so it looks like they're going to fall for someone else, and that person is just not ideal for them. This Princess of Wands is unfortunately not the one for them. And they're going to end up burning this Knight of Cups and bringing about a sense of unhappiness. So this is very interesting. Where do you, group number one, where do you fit into all this? We're going to throw some more tarot, and then we're going to reveal the horoscope sign of this Knight of Cups. So where do you fit into this? What are you going to bring this Knight in this relationship? Ooh, group number one, you might not be what this Knight of Cups needs, okay? Because it looks like you are going to bring a little bit of destabilization into their world. This is what you're going to bring this Knight, right? You're going to bring this Knight the Hierophant reverse. And so the Hierophant is the structure, right? It's the inspiration from spirit. There's a sense of unity with spirit made manifest through the physical. And so there is knowledge gained and attained and passed on from generation to generation, and an inspiration into the people and the masses. And so the fact that it's reversed tells me that this person that you are going to be in a relationship with very soon is really just not the one. They may just be, a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you date for a while, and then as soon as things get a bit unhappy, you're probably going to just move on to your next relationship. So, obviously this reading is intended more for singles, but you can gain knowledge from these readings, right? If it resonates, then go ahead and take it. If it doesn't, then move on. But ultimately, it looks like this Princess of Wands, group number one, is you. And that was my fear, okay? There was a fear there. I didn't want to say it. I wanted to confirm it. With the confirmation, it's now too obvious. You are the Princess of Wands in this person's life. And so this kind of answers the question if this person is meant to be, right? Sometimes I do marriage readings. Are you going to marry this person? Who are you going to marry, right? And this kind of fits in perfectly for singles that are potentially thinking of maybe a crush, or thinking of, okay, is this person the one? Or, so we're answering that question here in this reading, right? This Princess of Wands appears to be you. There is going to be some unhappiness, right, into this Knight of Cups' world. Now, ultimately, that unhappiness is also going to be yours as well, right? Let's see. Well, for you, you made plans. That's the thing. You've made plans with this person, all right? So, these plans that you've made, that you're thinking of being with this person, it almost feels like your energies just don't align very well, We have a Knight of Cups here, right? This person is water and you are fire, all right? So there is something that you're not really truly seeing. There's a sense of just too much. That fire that you are essentially putting out into the world is too much. Now, I know I said a lot of negative things about the Princess of Wands reverse, but remember, this is what the Knight of Cups essentially is picking up on for themselves, right? It's more of a selfish kind of energy. This is what the Knight of Wands sees and feels. Doesn't mean that it is you. You've made plans with this person, or maybe you're going to, obviously this is all in a future setting, right? This is divinatory in nature. But in a future setting, when you're in a relationship with this person, you're going to start making plans. You're going to set your intentions far and wide. We see that here with the Two of Wands. This is the merchant that is working on a plan, right? There's a destination. And so what this merchant is doing is that they're sending out his camels out into the desert so that they can travel far, far lands, bring back rubies, bring back pearls, bring back diamonds, right? There's a plan there. There's a true plan to make this happen, to make it a reality. This can be talking about marriage, right? You're planning like, is this the one? Is this the person that I want to be with? And the answer at some point might be like, you know what? I actually do kind of like this person. I think that I'm going to try very hard in this relationship and actually try and reach my destination with this person together, right? But unfortunately, group number one, it seems like this person has different plans because they are unhappy. All right. If they're stepping away, again, they're stepping away from whatever darkness this was, this unloving nature. They're moving into the Princess of Cups reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed, which is an acknowledgement of the pain that they went through, and then a rebirth, right? So right now they are available. They are in this Ace of Cups energy, newness. I want new love. I want what's coming. And then boom, the Princess of Wands shows up, but the Princess of Wands is not exactly what this Knight of Cups thought what it was going to be. I think that potentially, you know, in your planning, in your desire, in your wanting with the Two of Wands, you have maybe potentially forgotten something, right? This person doesn't really want that at this moment, or it's really just a mixing. It's really just the energies are off. You know, again, this person is water, you're showing up as fire. You know, it's like these two energies are just very chaotic right now. And so this person seems like they are going to be unhappy in this relationship, right? It's just not ideal for them. But, you know, that is the person. Now let's go ahead and reveal their zodiac signs. Just to see if we can put some more information. What is their zodiac sign? What is their zodiac sign? Let's take a look. Let's have a little fun with this one. So remember, with the zodiac signs, this is Sun, Moon, Rising. I'm going to throw two. Okay, so I'm going to give you two zodiac signs. Let's see, we can probably, and also we're going to try and get some advice from these cards. This is from the Manifestation Oracle deck, Moonology deck. Let's see, New Moon in Aquarius. All right, makes sense. Look at that. And we also have Scorpio. So we've got Aquarius and Scorpio showing up. Again, this could be their Sun, Moon, Rising, Aquarius, Scorpio. And the messages are pretty clear here. So the first message is open up to change, right? And so I think that this is an advice for you, group number one, open up to change. So it's important for you to understand that, hey, you know, maybe it's not going to work out with this person. Maybe this person just needs to go through a change, through some transformation. Again, there's a lot of baggage that they're bringing from the past, a lot of pain, and it's still showing up in their present, right, with this Princess of Cups. So even though they want for newness, they want for a new blissful experience of love, there's still that pain, right, showing up presently for them. So they might not have been they're probably not healed completely from this, or potentially they're projecting the darkness of the past onto you. So that is a very, very real thing. Open up to change. Understand that if this doesn't work, something new is going to happen. And then we have some more advice. This is actually pretty interesting here. You're being asked to go deeper. And so this means something different for many different people, right? So go deeper. It's should you go deeper into this person's emotional energy? Should you really try and explore it? Should you really just try and open up all of that baggage, all of that darkness from the past? Is that what the cards are telling you to do? For some of you, it may very well be. For others, it's just telling you to think a little deeper. Is this really what I want? Is this really what's going to, be the experiences that I want for the rest of my life? Is this really going to be my existence from this point forward? And so for some of you, you are being asked to consider that, to ask that question, right? Go deeper into potentially this person's psyche, potentially this person's understanding what's going on. I think that there's more information that hasn't been shared, or that this Knight of Cups isn't opening up to. Even though, they are the Knight of Cups, they're welcoming that a share of information, that flow of information. There's also a hesitation. So we've got here a sense of muddy waters, right? Not wanting to fully open up. I think that maybe they're currently going through a depression. That might be something that you have to look and analyze very deeply, because there's a lot of fire energy with you, group number 1. Princess of Wands, the Two of Wands, a lot of fire energy. And sometimes with fire energy, they don't really take into consideration people's feelings all that much, right? Or if they do, they tend to just say, "Oh, you'll figure it out. You're fine. You're gonna be great. Just follow me." Or, "Hey, let's do this." And so sometimes there's almost like a bulldozing of that person's emotions, and there's much more there, right? This person has a lot of things that they haven't shared, and I think it's because that fiery energy of yours is it's too much, right? And so you have to try and tone that fiery energy down. Try and get this person to open up. So for those of you that are essentially asking for that, or want to know how can I make this better, right? Take that planning energy of yours, that Two of Wands energy that says I'm planning for the future, and plan for right now. What am I going to do right now to get this person to open up and be here in this relationship with me? If potentially who this person is, or you're already in the relationship. But anyways, that is what I see here. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. If you're interested, I'm going to include the Etsy link in the description below. Thank you once again, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, where we are trying to find information on who your next relationship is going to be with. You picked the very powerful Knight of Wands. And so with this Knight of Wands, what we have is courage and creative force. I am going to integrate this Knight of Wands into this reading, because I feel that if you pick this Knight of Wands, it's because you are in some ways manifesting this Knight. And I feel that it's very substantial for your next relationship. This Knight is the Sun Warrior. This is the creative life force. This Knight is passionate. They're clever. They're swift. They're spontaneous. They're loyal. They're ready to take on any new adventure or challenge that comes their way. This is the kind of Knight that tests and expands their intuition and creative life force. There's a sense also of experiencing the excitement and the abundance that life offers. Unsettled feelings constantly drive this inner life force that's available within this Knight of Wands. This Knight's overabundance of energy continually seeks new outlets for channeling. So this fiery spirit is fueled by mental energy, physical energy, driving him to discover deeper parts of himself, exploring the depths of their creative expression. There's an acceleration into just greater accomplishments and just greater achievements in the world, ultimately growing because of it. This Knight is very passionate, courageous. They are very charming, charismatic. They can also be a bit impatient and arrogant. That these are characteristics of the Knight. They can be compulsively free, but that freeness is what gives them a power over unexpected situations. This Knight can easily become bored and uninterested, having difficulty seeing things all the way through. So there's a sense of accomplishment because they're constantly pushing forward. This energy needs a grounding outlet, though, sometimes it just needs to run wild, bringing it closer to center. And, I feel like with this Knight, and what we have here in this illustration is the Phoenix, right? Phoenix energy. And that Phoenix energy is a symbol of eternal life. It links the heaven and earth. And in some ways, it offers this Knight the ability to reach to a purifying level, or a level of rebirth and resurrection. that offers them the power and the wisdom to keep moving forward, okay, and just be successful in everything that they do. And that's the word that I think is going to be associated deeply with this person that you're going to be in a relationship with. Success, right? Success in everything that they do through an abundance of energy, forward moving momentum. And what we are going to go ahead and do now is we're going to zoom out, because there we go. We're going to zoom out, and we are going to throw some tarot, and we're going to try and find information on this person's past, this person's present, and their future. We're going to see what the tarot offers us. We're going to use the tarot Apocalypsis for this. Let's go ahead and take a look. So we are asking, what is in this person's past? Can you give us information on this person's past? Give us information on this person's past. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Bad boy energy here. We've got the Prince of Swords showing up. Now, for a present energies, where is this person? Where is this person? All right, and in the future, what does the future hold? What does the future hold for this person? Wow. Man. My goodness. Interesting energies. Interesting energies. Okay. So we'll take it step by step. We'll start with the past. You've got some interesting cards here in the past. Ace of Cups reversed, the Prince of Swords reversed. And so what I'm seeing here with these cards is going through a period of insecurity, going through a period of emotional instability due to decisions that they've made and conflict with other people. Right? So we see the unhappiness with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a card of happiness, bliss, joy, contentment, right? When this cup is full, there is a sense of true happiness. Now, when the cup is reversed, we have an outpouring of negative emotions, right? So we have this cup that is empty. And so what we see is it's almost this, sadness, but at the same time, it's this unwillingness to give into the joy of life, and potentially not being able to move on from a situation, or just going over a situation over and over again, right? And being kind of stuck in this emotional turbulence, in these muddy waters where you just can't get out of it. You can't get happy. So, it is a card that can maybe signal a little depression. It is a card that can talk about just feeling a bit out of whack. But anyways, one of the reasons why is the Prince of Swords. And so there's dual meaning to the Prince of Swords, as there is with most pages. But I feel like when I look at this card and I try and connect to the imagery, what I feel like is a rebel, right? It's like this rebellious nature. And this rebellious nature was a part of them. I feel that they used their words in some ways for malice, but at the same time, it doesn't really have to mean that it was evil. Like, this person didn't do things in an evil light, but they did it with this insecurity. We already know with the Ace of Cups, there is an insecurity, more than likely because of the youthfulness. This is in the past, so this person more than likely, we're looking at in a past where there's someone who's very young, young in mind, young in energy. And when you're young, you tend to be very self-absorbed, right? You tend to essentially look at yourself and only really care about you. So I feel like this person potentially in the past, they reached a place where they became too confrontational and combative with people. And in some ways that left them feeling a bit depleted, because obviously when you are a certain way with people, when you use words that hurt, and then you come to the realization that you've hurt that person, you ultimately end up being the one that becomes unhappy, right? Unless you're a psychopath or unless you're a sociopath, then, if you're one of these two, then you don't care. But obviously this person isn't. So, this person just really, I think, feels bad for what happened in the past. Maybe potentially there was an energy of someone who they said something to, and then that person ended up doing something because of what they said, right? These are words. These aren't really, it's not the action that we see with the Knight of Wands, where it's just action and willpower and moving forward. They are that at their core. But with the Prince of Swords, what we see is that action turned into more words and also thoughts, right? The Prince of Swords, it rules the mind. And so potentially what ended up happening was their mental state was a bit off, then it led to emotional instability. So, we do have some troubles here in the past. In the present, we've got the Five of Cups reversed, and we've got the King of Wands reversed. And this is very interesting. I think that this person lost someone, okay? And I feel like one of the reasons why they're being in a past setting, we're seeing the Ace of Cups reverse and the Prince of Swords, is because they wish that they could have done more in the past. Maybe potentially spoken a little more to that person or done things differently. But they'll never admit it, okay? Because of that Knight of Wands energy, that courageous energy of moving forward and trying to do everything on their own. So they'll keep quiet about it. It'll build up and then ultimately end up in this explosive kind of energy. It ends up in rage and anger, and we see that with the King of Wands reversed, okay? So currently, what they are currently going through is an energy of sadness, right? It's an energy of potentially just understanding what they've lost, right? So the Five of Cups, we see here the ultimate energy of sorrow, right? And this is a very individual, personal energy here with this Five of Cups. It's not like the Three of Swords. It's more of an existential, outer pain. The Five of Cups, it's more internal. It's the pain that we hold deep inside, right? Sometimes the pain that we don't even tell people. But, the fact that it's reversed tells me that, they're moving away from that pain. It is something that is still very present, and it's led to a lot of anger, and we're going to talk about that anger now with that King of Wands reversed. But what we see here is essentially 3 cups that have been spilled. This person is very focused on the cups that have been spilled, but they pay no attention to the 2 cups back there that are full. They don't even want to hear about those 2 cups, right? The sorrow and the pain is too much. It's almost like they don't want to go through that. So, absolutely, I think this person has gone through some very deep depression. In some ways, they're coming out of it right now. They're working through it. It's still there. It's still a part of it. But now they're in this kind of energy of anger and rage. Okay, and we see that with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is, I like to call him the ultimate king. Because out of the 4 kings of the tarot, the King of Wands is the one that leads them. The King of Wands is, willpower incarnate. This is the king that gets up and says, follow me, I will lead you there. And they do it majestically, right? And so I feel like, in this illustration, we have the sun god, right? We have Ra. And so in some ways, I feel that there's a lot of poison that they're having to overcome. There's a lot of negative energies, negative feelings that they are trying to work through. We have here this snake, this serpent that's, just coming around his legs. And I feel like that not only signifies mastery of this feeling, of these emotions, of the negativities of the world, but it also talks about potentially overcoming that poison and overcoming that pain, shedding that skin and giving light to something new. And I feel like the fact that, this King of Wands is showing up reversed, we have rage, we have anger, right? We have a person that is asking life why. Why did this happen? Why did it happen this way? Potentially, trying to find an answer, but not really dealing with it as effectively as maybe they should, right? I think that with this pain, with this Five of Cups reversed, they're overcoming whatever that is, and they're doing it through a little bit of anger and rage, right? They're doing it through an energy of trying to potentially be active in the world. And I feel that sometimes, that activity gets in the way of their progress because it tends to be an energy of despair, but at the same time it's beneficial to their healing. I guess this is just the way that this person processes pain, and they get it, they overcome it, right? It's like that Knight of Wands energy. They burn it away, and they're like that Phoenix energy that is ever evolving. And so there's a sense of there's an understanding that in order to make space for the new, you have to try and invite that Phoenix energy in, where it reaches a point where the experience just turns to ash, and then boom, from the ashes that Phoenix bird is reborn. And so they're going through that reborn period currently. That will lead them to the Hangman and the Ace of Wands reversed. And so interesting energies. They're gonna burn out. Okay, they're burning out. All of this chaotic energy that we're seeing here currently is due to that emotional instability, that loss of something. It's going to, I feel, turn into some kind of explosiveness, and then boom, a burnout completely. That's why we've got the Ace of Wands reversed. That's why we've got the Hangman. But the Ace of Wands can also still be talking about chaotic energy, right? It can also, it mirrors the King of Wands, essentially, right? But to a lesser extent, to a lesser degree. So we still have someone in the future, maybe potentially being that chaotic energy, acting out a little bit, but at the same time learning to control it so that they can function and operate in the here and now. And so what we see is someone who is coming into this energy of the Hangman. The Hangman is very patient, okay? They're wise beyond their years. This is the energy of someone that understands that in order to be successful, they have to take on a more of a stoic approach. So they're sacrificing their present for they're sacrificing their present for their future, right? And so this person understands that in order for them to gain notoriety, in order for them to gain some kind of, I would say, achievement within their community, they have to go through this trial. They have to go through this, I guess we can call it a tribulation, but with the Hangman, what we see here is this ancient tradition of Native Americans, right? And I forget the actual name, but it was very grueling. This is the coming of age of a warrior, where they had to essentially go through a period, I believe, for I think 3 days, where they didn't eat any food. They just, they were hung literally, and they were hung by their skin, so there was blood coming down. I mean, it's a pretty gruesome image, but there's a sense of sacrifice, right? Going through the pain, going through that energy in order to become someone completely new. And that's what they're going through, right? They're using that energy, that fire, in order to turn into someone completely new, and they're learning to control that energy of the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands, which are showing up reverse, which is chaotic energy. They're learning to control it. And so I think that they're going to reach a place where that energy will be controlled. It will help them and aid them. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Once this control comes about, what do we have here? We're going to reveal their Zodiac sign very soon. All right, you see? So, boom. We have the Four of Swords and the Two of Wands. Combined, we have a number 6, an energy of balance. So they're going to come to a place of balance, right? And what they need and what they are manifesting is quietness and peace. There's a lot going on within this person. Currently, in the past, there's a lot, mentally, physically, emotionally. This is someone who is vibrating on a very chaotic level. And I feel like, there's a sense here of bringing peace to a very chaotic time. That's what the Four of Swords is telling us, right? So we see here a warrior, or warrioress, that is putting her swords to rest, right? She doesn't need to fight any longer. She doesn't need to prove herself. She doesn't need to be anything other than in that very moment. And so there's a strong sense of peace. There's a strong sense of respite, not needing to overcome any darkness inside or outside. Just, just peace, right? Just peace. And we have here, it's funny that we keep seeing fire everywhere. And we have here a small fire burning, right? That's the promise of tomorrow, the potential that tomorrow will offer. It's there as a signal of I'm still looking forward to that energy, but right now I'm at peace, okay? So even though that fire burns inside of me, I've learned to control it so that I don't harm anyone, I don't harm myself, I don't burn myself, but it's controlled. And so there's peace, right? There's peace amongst the land, there's peace within, and ultimately that's going to result in peace outside as well. And then what we have with the Two of Wands here is we have someone who is directing their energy and will towards something great, right? So the Two of Wands, we have a merchant, right? This is a merchant from ancient Egypt. And this merchant has these camels that he is setting out into the great beyond. These camels are going to come back loaded with jewels, pearls, all of these wonderful things. Maybe not pearls, it is ancient Egypt, but they are going to come with a lot of wonderful things, a beautiful bounty. And I feel like with the Two of Wands, what we have is someone that has learned to control their energy completely, right? They've learned to silence their chaotic fire. And now they're able to direct that fire towards some kind of endeavor. And that endeavor, I feel, has a lot of entrepreneurial revelations. So maybe this is a business owner. This is someone that's going to use their fire, their willpower in order to manifest something truly great when it comes to business, right? Business. All right, wow. All right, so let's go ahead and find their zodiac sign. This is the fun part of the reading, and for that, we're going to throw 2 manifestation moonology cards, and we're going to try and get some advice. Number 1, we're going to try and get some advice for you, just in general, right? And maybe it doesn't have to be advice, but what's coming next, whatever the cards choose to show us. And also, we're going to get their zodiac sign. So remember, Sun, Moon, Rising. We're going to get 2 zodiac signs today. Let's see. So the first one is last quarter moon in Scorpio. So the first sign is Scorpio. Again, Sun, Moon, Rising. Could be any one of those 3. Reveal what needs to be seen. That's interesting. So I think that's some advice for you. Reveal what needs to be seen. So, I think that is a message telling you to just be genuine. If this person is someone that you know who they are in some capacity, then maybe just be as honest as you need to be. And I feel that's going to help you a lot. So reveal what needs to be seen. Interesting. All right, and we have Scorpio for the first sign. Let's take a look at the second one. We have got last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. Wow. So we've got some earth energy here. So Taurus for the second one. Again, Sun, Moon, Rising. It could be any. Now the third one, I'm gonna have to say it has to be a fire sign, for sure, a fire sign, because there's so much fire here. I mean, it's overwhelming, the amount of fire, right? 2 of Wands, King of Wands, Ace of Wands, and even in the cards where there isn't, and the Knight of Wands, obviously, and even in the cards where there isn't a wands, we have still fire. 4 of Swords, the fire. We have the Hangman burning in the fires. And so, yeah, their third sign would definitely be a fire sign. But last quarter moon in Taurus, be proud of yourself. And so, I feel like the cards are telling you, group number 2, that you yourself have done something truly great, or you're about to do something great. You're going to achieve something, or you've already achieved it. That's essentially what the cards are saying. So be proud of yourself and reveal what needs to be seen. So some very interesting little tidbits. That advice doesn't have to be about this person and this relationship. It can just be about you and your life. Okay, so take it as that. All right, so that is what I see here, group number 2. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. If you comment, I will respond back. Also, I am offering private readings at this time. So if you're interested in a private reading, you will have to go through my Etsy store. I'm going to include the link in the description below. Thank you once again. I love every single one of you. And bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, where we are asking the question, who will your next relationship be with? Now, you picked the Shaman of the Knights. You picked the Knight of Pentacles. And, normally I don't like to integrate the actual Pick a Cards groups into the reading, but we will this time, because I do feel very strongly that since you picked this group, this is an aspect of the person that you are manifesting, and it will speak towards the person that is coming to you. And so, as I've said, this is the Knight of Manifestation. This is the Shaman of the 4 Knights. With the Shaman, there's a sense of peace. Peace with himself, peace with his environment, sensitivity, stableness, reliable. This Knight travels a meditative path on his quest. He works patiently and diligently with concentrated focus until his goals are completed. This Knight can always be depended on. Okay, this Knight doesn't let distractions of life lead him off course. This Knight is devoted and dedicated to the Earth's evolution. This Knight is inspired to build new worlds that support the environment and serve humanity. And so, when it comes to this Knight, there's a sense of mastery. Okay, this Knight has mastered his 5 senses. Life force flows through him, body in harmony and balance. The Knight works through the challenges of life by listening to his intuition. He feels, he hears, he sees how nature works by taking time to listen to what the environment communicates. And so this Knight's meditative soul takes time to breathe in the air and all that is around him, sensing the next step of action to take. And so this Knight teaches us peace. Peace in the heart, quietude, simplicity. There's a sense of true inner wealth with this Knight. This Knight bridges the worlds of the divine and the physical, that brings the possibility of living heaven on earth. And so in many ways, this Knight, as we see here, wears a magenta cloak over his golden spiral armor. Magenta is the color of harmony, spiritual growth, transformation. The Knight also is in some ways clasped with a moonstone. We see that moonstone there. It's a moonstone pendant, which also talks about hope and intuition. The golden circle crowns his head with the ruby placed over the third eye. And, the third eye is associated with clairvoyance and perception. And, the ruby is considered a very powerful manifestation tool. It is in some ways associated with prosperity and wealth. The feathers that hang around, there's a sense of just wisdom, right? There's a sense of wisdom with this Knight. So very interesting that this is the Knight that you picked, this beautiful Knight of Pentacles. So what we are going to do now is we're going to zoom out and we're going to throw some tarot. All right, we're going to go ahead and throw some tarot around this Knight. We're going to try and see what was in this Knight's past, what is in their present, and what is in their future, what is to come. And for that, we're going to utilize the tarot Apocalypsis for this. And we're going to see exactly what information we get. And then we will, towards the end of the reading, reveal what the Zodiac sign is of this Knight. All right. So let's see. What is in this Knight's past? What is in this Knight's past? Okay. What is presently going on with this Knight? Okay. And what is to come for this Knight? Wow. Well. Interesting energies here. Very interesting energies. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm just connecting with the cards, trying to get an image of what exactly the cards are telling us here. All right. My goodness. So we definitely have a lot of activity with this night. Definitely a lot to talk about here. We'll start with the past, obviously. In the past, we have the Prince of Cups upright, the Justice card reversed. And so what we see there is someone who is a lover, right? This Knight of Pentacles is someone that loves art, loves everything that has to do with poetry, writing, right? The Prince of Cups. And so, the Prince of Cups is also very such a beautiful card because this is the card of the lover. Okay, this is the card, and we see that lover reflected here in the form of Aries. And so I feel like there's a sense of love, true love, right? And so with this love comes a sense of falling in love and puppy dog love. And so this is the kind of person that loves very deeply and really enjoys that fleeting moment of love right at the very beginning of relationships. And so, the fact that we've got this card together with the Justice card reversed tells me that they might have gone through a bit of a heartbreak in the past, or they might have in some ways felt like they just weren't in the right place. The Justice card reversed is such a powerful card because it's a signal of the cosmos. It's a symbol of the totality of existence. And so when we get the Justice card, this being a major arcana, what we have is the world in its entirety. What we have is the entire human experience. And so there's a balance there, right? It's not just karma. It's not just right or wrong. It's the sustenance of everything. It's what holds worlds together. And so with this Justice card reverse, it just tells me that there was something missing. There was something off about that time. Even though they love so deeply, so beautifully, it almost feels like their environment just wasn't right. Okay? Their environment just wasn't essentially where they can thrive, where they can be. And so they're moving in some ways towards that environment in the present. But I feel like that environment is still very much a part of their existence, and we're going to get to that because I do see that in a future setting, a lot of connections to the past. But ultimately, this is someone that loves very deeply. Prince of Cups energy together with the Knight of Pentacles energy. It's a practical kind of love. It's the kind of love that says, I love you so much that I'm willing to do anything for you. I love you so much that I'm willing to give of myself in order for you to live, right? Very self-sacrificing, very pure. And so with the Justice card reverse, it could be talking about this person dating others that didn't return that kind of love. And it's very difficult to find that kind of person, that kind of energy. And the people that actually do have that kind of energy, more often than not, they find love very early on, and they stick to it. They don't want to leave that person, right? These are the people that are married very early on. These are the people that, you look at them and you're like, wow, what a wonderful human being. Too bad they're taken, right? Because they fall in love and they love very deeply. So I think that they were betrayed in the past. The energies around them were very parasitic in nature, meaning that they just wanted to take. They never gave, right? They were with them for the wrong reasons. So whatever that energy, it feels like it's something that they've come to grips with. There's an understanding taking place presently. And we see that with the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is the card of building something, right? So we already know that in the past with the Justice card, there was a sense of being in the wrong environment, right? The world being kind of turned upside down. Well, now in the present, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is the building up of that world. What we have here is an emperor. This emperor is utilizing all of his resources and skills to build a great city. And this great city is something that will withstand the test of time. Many people will benefit from it. And so, you know, it feels like this person is currently working on that city. They're working on that building process, right? And it's interesting because obviously the Knight of Pentacles is a builder. The Knight of Pentacles takes all of the right elements and creates something out of nothing. That is what the Knight of Pentacles excels in doing. You know, so, you know, and it comes from all of the past pain and hurt and trauma, and, you know, all of those things are experiences that they're able to utilize for the greater good of themselves and humanity as well. That's why the Four of Pentacles is present. Now, this isn't going to come without some struggle, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because they also have the Five of Wands energy showing up for the present energy. And so with the Five of Wands, what we have here is a challenge, right? So we have here 5 warriors taking on this, foe is not the right word. I was going to say foe, but that's not the right word. Really, they're taking part in some kind of passing on or passing of age. You know, they're trying to prove their worth, their might, their ability. You know, you have some one over here flexing, trying to look cool. We have others that are actually working. We have another that's actually just kind of dancing. And we have one that has taken a very tough hit, and they have to kind of take a little respite in order to keep going. So the fact that this card is reversed tells me that there are things in this person's life right now that they are unwilling to engage in. All right? And I feel like maybe what they're unwilling to engage in is love, right? Prince of Cups energy, Justice card reversed. They've learned from that. It's in some ways it left them, I think, depleted. Maybe potentially, you know, they're just not focused on love. But interestingly enough, you're going to be in a relationship with this person, so your energy is going to be enough to shift this dynamic for them. But ultimately right now, it feels like they're not concentrated on that. They're concentrated on building something, building some kind of empire, you know, building something that can withstand any kind of challenge or any kind of pervasive energy, right? And I feel like whatever, well, you know what? There's another interpretation here. And that interpretation is them building up some kind of city or structure to withstand the calamity and the horrors of the outside world. So I feel like they're building something to try and somehow shield from chaos, right? So, you know, think of someone that is just maybe starting a new career, maybe they're working towards something. They're building something. They're building their career. Maybe they're working on their investments and their nest egg. You know, think of someone that is building something, a structure, a physical structure. And so, you know, it's not so much that they're not focused on love. It's more of they're focused on the building process, and they're really taking time to get it right. Now, we move to the future, and my, oh my, you know, in the future, and I'm going to throw another card to get a little clarity, but it seems like they're going to run into a little bit of a wall. That's the best thing that I can say. They're going to run into a little bit of a wall. The Ace of Wands reversed is talking about chaotic energy, willpower, almost reaching the point where it's affecting them. It's hurting them more than actually helping them. And so with the Ace of Wands reversed, what we see is drive and motivation and willpower almost held, right? It's not moving, it's not flowing, it's not the fire has been extinguished, or the fire is now out of control and they're burning down what they built before. So this is very interesting. Why is it that they are doing this? And the sole reason is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Now there is dual meaning to this, right? So it looks like someone is about to come into their lives, the Queen of Pentacles, that isn't right for them. Now I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to say this is you. We are going to confirm that. But whoever this is, I get the feeling that they are in some ways going to halt their progress. And that's not going to be all that great for them. It's going to end up being a bit destructive for them personally. So this is very interesting. But let's go ahead and take a look and see. We're going to confirm who that Queen of Pentacles is. Is it the person that's watching this reading? What is this person going to bring them? Okay, so that's not you. It's not you. You are going to bring them judgment, and the judgment is upright. If it would have been reversed, it would have 100% been you, but no, it's not. You are going to bring them an energy of progress, of moving forward, expansion. And so let's get a little more clarity on that future energy of the Queen of Pentacles, more an understanding. Two of Pentacles. Okay, it looks like, yeah, it looks like in a future setting, and I hate talking about this, but you know, it is what it is. I'm a tarot reader. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. They're gonna run into financial troubles. Okay, they're gonna run into some financial troubles, and that's gonna be a little difficult. And it's gonna lead to a little bit of chaotic energy. And that chaotic energy might mean them getting into debt that they don't want, or them having to destroy what they've built and start over again. And then they're going to have to start brick by brick. But there is a sense of trouble financially. Reaching a place where, you know, the ships and the waves and the chaos that's outside brings them off that rock, right? They fall to the ocean. So financially, it's the trouble that we have here, and a rebuilding. But the thing with the Knight of Pentacles, and once again, we have to take into account who this person is. This person is a builder, and so in many ways, in some capacity, there has to be a rebuilding, right? There has to be a start over. If you come into their lives, right, when you do, being the Judgment card, it tells me that you are going to bring something new into their lives that they are needing to adjust to. And I feel, and this is just for some of you, take what resonates, leave the rest. A lot of the people watching this, you have some very strong financial desires, all right? There is a lot of the people that pick this group, you want the best in life. And the best in life, guess what? It costs money. So obviously they're going to need to make a little more. And I think that that's what's going to happen, right? You are going to come in to, in some ways, motivate them to reach heights that they've never reached before. You are going to challenge them, okay? And that challenge, I think, is something that they will meet head on. So this is what you are in their lives. You're the Judgment card. And so what we see here is the tale of two worlds, right? We see the ones that have reached the golden sphere, and now we see the ones that are, you know, almost taking that golden sphere and just, they've reached a place of transcendence. They're moving on to something greater and better. This is your sphere. This is your power. This is what you demand. And only a few are able to reach that glory of what you want in your life. And others, unfortunately, have tried, and they've come very close, which is why you can see their bodies are a little pinkish, right? But they're not quite golden. And then there's others that really just fell short completely, right? Like this guy had no chance. This guy's just, you know, he's blue, he's drowning, he's got no chance. And none of these other people either. So only the ones that fall within the sphere of what you are in some ways manifesting, and what you are, you know, just demanding of the universe, right? Who are you? And so this can just mean that you want a certain lifestyle. You want a certain outcome for your life. There are things that you want to accomplish that require great feats. It requires for things to move in a certain direction. And so this person is going to be inspired by that. They're going to rise to the challenge. They're going to have to really tap into the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, this is going to take every ounce of energy that they have. And I feel that you are going to motivate them greatly. But in some ways, you know, they've built something. But that house that they've built is not going to be enough for you and what you want and what your desires are. So they're going to have to build a little more. All right, so let's go ahead and reveal their zodiac signs. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to throw two Moonology manifestation cards, and we're going to reveal the zodiac signs. This could be their sun, moon, rising. All right, we're just throwing two cards. So shuffling, and here we are. Aries. Taurus. And a Pisces. Okay, I like that. I like that. All right, so, we have here, we can say, we can have an earth sign, all right, with the Knight of Pentacles. There's definitely a lot of earth, right? 4 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, a lot of earth energy here. And of course, the Knight of Pentacles. So one of the signs is an earth sign. And then we have new moon in Aries. So we got a fire sign, and then we have a full moon in Pisces, and we have, so we have a water sign. Very interesting. Now, these messages are for you, okay? They're not for this person. They're not going to talk about this, nothing at all. These messages are for you. They could be advice. So the first one is go for it. New moon in Aries. So whoever's watching this, group number 3, you're being told by the oracles to go for it, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be, anything concerning love or this relationship. Maybe potentially it does. Maybe you know who this person is. Maybe they've asked you out and you said no, or maybe, you have a strong sense of who it is, but they don't know who you are. So go for it, right? Whatever that means. It could mean a new job, a new career. Go for it. And then also, the second message, the second clue for you is forgive. Who do you need to forgive? Group number 3. Who do you need to forgive in order to move on and go for it? So these are some very interesting things. But anyways, Aries, Pisces, and an earth sign. That can be their sun, moon, rising. That is all I see here. I want to thank you for watching group number 3. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for your comments. And also, I am offering private readings at this time. So if you seekers are interested in that private reading, I'm going to leave my Etsy link in the description below so that you can visit my Etsy store. Thank you guys for your love. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your beautiful words. I love you guys, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 4, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, where we are asking the question, who will your next relationship be with? Now, you picked the Knight of Swords. This is the warrior of intellect, all right? Now, before in other readings, I never integrated the actual pick a card options as a part of the reading, but I will do it this time because I feel that if you pick this knight, it's because you are manifesting this person. So, I feel very strongly that we have to take into consideration just the aspect of the Knight of Swords. This Knight of Swords is courageous. They're brave. They're spiritually inspired. Of all the knights, the Knight of Swords is the most willful and aggressive, wanting to fight for the highest ideals and the highest good. He is an honest, straightforward competitor, symbolizing fairness and leadership. The intentions of this Crusader Knight are to create new horizons of inspired thought and revolutions, right, that serve humanity. This motivation is to act from divine truth and purity, bringing justice, protection, and healing to those in need. Now, the Knight of Swords is also very complex. They're multifaceted personalities. This knight's mind is alive and active with divine inspiration. The energy that he channels from the divine intellect is so powerful that it comes like a lightning bolt, right? That's why we see the lightning bolts in the imagery. He can become overwhelmed by trying to contain the surges of inspiration. That's how powerful they are. He needs to also recognize the amount of energy that moves through him and how it affects him and everything around him. This energy can be so forceful that it scatters his brilliant mind, and it does tend to lose focus and steam. But make no mistake about it, the Knight of Swords braces into life with a sense of drama and true mastery. There's a sense of direction. There's a sense of quick thought. There's a sense of stepping out of their comfort zone to really just bring about an energy of manifestation through thought. And so, this Knight of Swords in some ways represents spiritual enlightenment and realization of personal truth and expanded awareness. And in some ways, this night is all about understanding. Okay, so very interesting selection, absolutely. What we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to zoom out, number one, zoom out. And we're going to do a past, present, future spread. So past, present, future. I just want to give you information on what this person that you've been in a relationship with, has been through, what they are to accomplish. It's funny, you have the King of Swords. Wow. I'm telling you, anytime one of the groups, the pick a card groups, anytime you select that group, there's always a confirmation that is the person. We have the King of Swords. Interesting. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward. The past we're going to look at first. We're going to see exactly what they've been through, what they've accomplished. We're going to do it with the Tarot Apocalypses. So we already have the Knight of Swords for the past. Oh my, the King of Cups in a past setting. Interesting. All right, in the present we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Nine of Wands upright, and then finally in the future we have here Justice reversed and the Five of Pentacles. This is very interesting. All right. Wow. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. So I'm just trying to connect with the cards. We're going to start with the past. Jump right into this reading. All right. Okay, so in a past position, my goodness, we have the King of Swords and we have the King of Cups. All right, so this is a very interesting dynamic here. When we look at the past, this person was influenced by a lot of strong male energy. All right, we have here someone who has been guided, who has been inspired and motivated by the divine masculine, pretty heavily so. And so what that has done is it's provided them with a sense of knowledge and understanding. Number one, this is where they get that understanding and that those words and that keen mind. They got it from the King of Swords, right? And so I love the illustration of the King of Swords in this deck because this is Odin, right? And we know that Odin gave his right eye in order to have all of the knowledge in the world. There is also an understanding that the King of Odin rules over this kingdom called Valhalla, and only the top best warriors are allowed in through this process of transmutation, right? So I feel like with the King of Swords in a past position, they've learned and they've in some ways taken on the energies of the King of Swords, which is knowledge, thought, understanding, using words to motivate, using words to even destroy, right? The King of Swords is a tactician, always strategizing and always moving the pieces in the chess to make sure that they are victorious in whatever they pursue. Now, that energy has been in many ways balanced with the King of Cups, right? So this is the swords represent the mind, the cups represent the emotions, right? And so what we have here is thought, and we have emotions, we have feelings, we have an integration of them both to form the person that they are today. So the fact that we now have the King of Cups showing up here, this is an aspect of a healer, right? This is the person that heals. This is the person that is very loving towards people, towards art, poetry. This is an admirer of everything beautiful, right? And so in many ways, this King of Cups has an excellent taste, and understanding for what makes life beautiful, what keeps it going. And so with the King of Swords, we have that tacticianer, we have that strategist that's constantly plotting and trying to find a way to have victory. With the King of Cups, we have someone who's able to take all of that strategizing and really apply it in the here and now to make the world not only a better place for themselves, but for other people. We have someone that's using that energy to make something truly wonderful and dynamic for everyone. And so, a very beautiful past here. All right, King of Swords, King of Cups. And now we have an understanding of where the Knight of Swords gets their brilliance and understanding, chivalrous and almost dynamic energy from, right? They get it from the past. So this can be parents, just thought leaders, philosophers that they followed. I think that this person is very studious. They're the type of person that likes to read, that likes to find out what truly happened in history, how it's affecting our present, who was disenfranchised and why. These are all aspects of these two kings merged together. An understanding of the oppressed, an understanding of the oppressor, an understanding of how we can use that information to truly make the world a better place, right? It's the complete absence of ignorance. This is understanding completely. What we have here is an intellectual, and an intellectual that's willing to move in this realm of just, compassion, right? Where the King of Swords has no compassion, the King of Cups has it in droves. And so that's why this integration of the two is so important. Anyways, in the present, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed and then the Nine of Wands upright. This is interesting. And I feel that, the Knight of Swords is right now struggling financially to essentially, find their way in the world. And so here's the I guess we can call this the reality of our time and our lives, right? This person is incredibly smart, incredibly compassionate, but that doesn't mean that they are just right now all of a sudden going to have all these riches just because of that, right? They're still finding their way in the world presently. And so that's why we've got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. The Ace of Pentacles is the card of fruitful endeavors, the beginning of maybe some kind of new financial project. It's going to be a new career. This can be the beginning of a new entrepreneurship venture. Newness, but newness in the realm of finances, something physical, something tangible. The fact that it's reversed says that there's been some struggles there. There's been some slow-moving progress. Could be that this person, being an intellectual, is a student. Maybe they're still in school, so they're still trying to kind of scrape by. They're still trying to, they still have to depend on someone, I feel. And that is very... that to them is something that they want to try and avoid. So I feel that they're using their intelligence to try and find a way to not have to depend on someone else. And we see that reflected in the Nine of Wands. We have here an image of Cleopatra. And, for those of you that know the story of Cleopatra, maybe you'll understand this illustration a little more. She had to fight very hard for her kingdom because it just wasn't given to her, right? She, unfortunately, was passed when it comes to having the ability to rule. The powers that be said, listen, you are a woman, you cannot rule. And so instead they gave that authority and power to her little brother, who had no understanding of how to actually rule. And so in some ways Cleopatra was cast out. She had to come back and actually wage a very strong repudiation towards the powers that be and rise up against the system. And in many ways she was victorious. Here we see her in her kind of battle form. We see that the burning down of a building, which is the burning down of a structure, the burning down of an old way of doing things. And then there being of the leader that rises up with authority. We also have the moon in the back showing the power of femininity, and also the mystery that comes with there being a change, a dynamic change. No one knows what's going to happen with this change. Is it going to be for our greatest good, or is this going to be a time of darkness, right? Only time will tell. And so, Cleopatra's story was definitely a very sad one. And I feel like they're going through that right now. Right? Think of a student that's, that unfortunately has all this student debt that they have to contend with. Think of someone who, unfortunately, their standard of living has been impacted because of the times that we live in. And so you can have all the intelligence in the world, you can have all the compassion in the world, but when it comes to actually being able to get ahead, what we have is a system where it's a system that works for a very small minority of people, and a lot of other people get left behind. And so that system in many ways has been very pervasive to them. Presently they're having to fight against that system. They're having to move forward in the best way that they know how, and it's with fire, right? That's the Nine of Wands is the integration of willpower and a motivation to see a system change for the better. So I think that they're using everything that they've learned. They're using their words, their keen mind to overcome some kind of challenge in the present. Now, where does that take us? Well, boy oh boy, it looks like in the future they're gonna have some more struggles. We've got the Justice card reversed. We've got the Five of Pentacles upright. Now, I'm going to confirm what this struggle looks like and what it's actually going to bring. But, I am a tarot reader. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I see and what the cards are essentially telling us, right? This person is going through a bit of a struggle. They're going to go through a bit of a struggle in a future setting. And so we have the Justice card showing up reversed. Now, the Justice card, a lot of people misinterpret. They think that it's the card of right and wrong, and that's it. They don't go any further. But in reality, this major arcana holds or upholds the cosmos. There's a sense of keeping everything in balance, keeping life and death in balance, keeping right and wrong in balance, keeping a sense of true, I would say, keeping the energies that be at bay so that it doesn't overwhelm the totality of existence, if that makes sense to you guys. And so what we have here is an equilibrium, the equilibrium of life itself. The fact that it's reversed tells me that in a future setting, this little war that they're waging, and I'm not going to say little, it's actually quite large. I think that they're fighting for their lives here. This war that they're waging against a system is not going to yield any results for them, right? And so in many ways, what the Justice card is saying is transformation or a change into something else. It's the process of moving from what you knew to something new. And so in the reason why they have to go ahead and do that is because of the Five of Pentacles. There really just aren't enough resources to go around, right? We've got here an image of two people that have lost everything. We have someone here we have two people here who are seeing their wealth just be washed away. Their generational wealth is non-existent, right? Very few people are able to benefit from generational wealth. Those that are disenfranchised and downtrodden, unfortunately, have to go through a bit of a tougher time to get to that place. And so what we see is that struggle, right? Even though in the back we have a beautiful castle where only a few minority of people live, we still have people that are going through a struggle. And so unfortunately, whatever they're working on right now is not going to be successful, and this is going to turn their world a little upside down. It is going to leave them a bit depleted. It is going to leave them feeling a bit there's a sense of just not feeling comfortable, right? There's a sense of chaos and a need to create order out of that chaos. Now, what is this going to bring for them? What is this going to bring for them? What is this going to bring for them? And what are they going to be moving into? All right, Three of Pentacles. You see? Change, transmutation. Yeah. They are, at this moment in time, they're fighting against a system. This is a justice warrior. This is a warrior that uses their intellect to fight against the system, to try and identify the oppressor and to try and do something about it. Unfortunately, the cards are saying that they are not going to be victorious in this pursuit, in this endeavor of trying to make everything right, of trying to bring the justice energy into existence, right? To try and correct a wrong. And so what I'm seeing here is that they're fighting the fight that's not for them to fight. Okay. Unfortunately, they're going to lose that fight. Or they're just going to come to the realization that it's not their fight, and they're going to do what they should do in some other areas, and I feel like that is beautifully illustrated by the Three of Pentacles. And so the Three of Pentacles, what we see here is the end of a great work. This is someone who's worked very hard, this person here, and they've been carving their great work into this rock. And now everyone stands around and looks at that great work. They know that there's value there. They know that there is money to be made there. They know that there is a sense of artistry as well and mastery of resources, right? And so with the Three of Pentacles, what we have is someone who reaches a place where they can call a career. It's like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is where I'm most comfortable. This is where I'm going to shine, right? And this is where I'm going to make a living. And so they need to go through the realization of what's going on right now. They need to come to the understanding that this battle that they're waging currently is not theirs. It's actually depleting them physically. Ace of Pentacles can also be talking about the body. And so physically it is depleting them, right? They're using a lot of energy on this pursuit, and it's not going to yield anything other than the Five of Pentacles and the Justice card reversed. And so that pursuit has to shift, and they're going to realize this, and they're going to start doing what they potentially are destined to do or become, right? Three of Pentacles are going to find their great work, their great project, and they're going to invest all of the time and energy into that. And then we have a clue of what that might be with the Princess of Cups. I am going to venture out, and I'm going to say that this Princess of Cups is you. Group number 4. It is you. It is an aspect of you. The Princess of Cups is the muse. It's the inspiration, okay? It's what poets, it's what artists use to gain inspiration, to gain a sense of just, understanding, right? And so the Princess of Cups is an illustration of someone who is so taken aback by the beauty of this butterfly, that nothing else exists, only that butterfly. Out of that beauty can only come more beauty. And so, in some ways I feel that this person, even though they're a fighter, even though they're very intelligent intellectuals, they're fighting a fight that's depleting them. They're fighting a fight that is in some ways getting in the way of their progress, of their individual sovereignty, their individual ambitions, and almost it's robbing them of their mental health. It's robbing them of their physical health. And so there is an understanding that it needs to stop, right? Because they've gone too far. They can't keep going any further. The only thing that they can do is redirect their energies and start some kind of new endeavor. And I think that what they've been needing and waiting for is an inspiration. They've been needing and waiting for their muse. And you, group number 4, I think, are that muse, that Princess of Cups that inspires this person to not only finish what they start, but also start some kind of new venture with you in mind, knowing that this venture is going to be something that's going to benefit them and benefit you as well. So think of someone who is chasing after fool's gold, or chasing after something that's too ideal and doesn't have any form yet, right? Or fighting against something that's too grand, too big, and believing that they can win because they're so intelligent, they're so smart, they're so prepared, they're so keen, right? They're warriors, and so there's this righteous war that they want to be a part of. But then coming to the realization that if they don't stop, if they don't redirect their energies towards something more profound personally, they're going to destroy themselves. And they're going to come to that realization with the Princess of Cups. Now, this doesn't have to be you, but obviously this is a person, a very young woman, right? So maybe it is you, maybe it's not. But, there's an understanding that this muse is going to inspire them towards a more artistic side, towards a more creative side. In some ways, there is, I don't want to say a struggle, but there is this dual energy inside of them with the King of Swords and the King of Cups, right? They've gained understanding from these two energies This is who they are. And so in some ways, I think that they've leaned more towards the King of Swords. You know, Odin is a warrior. Okay, Odin wants to fight. Odin wants to find an oppressor and go after that oppressor and end whatever injustice, right? Odin wants the Justice card reversed. But with the King and you know, with the King of Cups, there is a sense of righteousness, a righteous war. But at the same time, right, we have, if you wage too much war, if you fight against a system, then you're bound to start hurting people. And so, you know, there's just an understanding that's going to take place with this person. Anyways, I think I've gone a little too far into this. Let's just go ahead and reveal their zodiac signs, all right? But you get the idea. We're going to go ahead and throw 2 manifestation oracle cards, and it's going to give us two zodiac signs. That can be their sun, their moon, and their rising. I was looking for the deck and I have found it. So here we are. These cards are also going to provide you, group number 4, with some advice. Okay, so get ready for that advice. Never mind that it is reversed. We've got Libra and Gemini. Okay, all right. And look at that. We've been talking about balance this whole reading, and look at the card we got. Full moon in Libra. Now it makes perfect sense why they're trying to correct the wrong, why they're trying to find out, you know, what's fair, what's not. So Libra, sun, moon, rising, possibly. And there's a message for you, group number 4. Find a balance, all right? Find a balance in your life right now. And then we have here new moon in Gemini. So Gemini is one of their sun, moon, rising, possibly. Think it through. You know, these messages, right? Finding balance and think it through. It can be about anything in life, right? I mean, we all need to think. Sometimes we just act erratically, and we don't really think deeply. And I feel like maybe this is a channeled message from them to you. Find a balance, think it through, and in some ways, this message here is what they're going through right now. They're trying to find that balance in their lives, and they're really using their mental energy to really just, you know, get ahead of whatever challenges come. So a very beautiful energy with this person. I hope you enjoyed this reading, group number 4. I want to thank you for watching. Also, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. And thank you for your donations. Also, I am offering private readings at this time. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and visit my Etsy store. I'm going to include the link in the description below. Once again, thank you guys. Thank you, Seekers, for all of your love, all of your just beautiful words of encouragement. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and bye-bye.